WandaVision is the story of grief and love, the tale of a woman who's lost everything and everyone she has ever cared for. But it's also the story of how wasted Paul Bettany and Elizabeth Olsen were by the Avengers movies, though that is just me as a fan projecting. Modern fandoms are a bit of a fickle thing, ain't they? Star Wars fans are all but impossible. Harry Potter types have growing pains, while Game of Thrones peeps got PTSD as Trekkies speak in utter gibberish, and weebs are just the worst. And then there's the DC superhero moviegoers that killed the Snyder DC movies, only for the Snyder cut of Justice League to get a second life because of Snyder's fans.
Oh, this is gonna be a gas!
And all of that happens as the internet and YouTube promotes opinion-based entertainment in a world of ever more people looking for their echo chambers. But I'm getting ahead of myself because I'm here to talk about the magic lady that loves a robot man and their silly adventures in TV land. Yay! So the thing I really liked about WandaVision was how it never lost focus of its themes. Again, grief and love.
But what is grief? If not love, persevering.
Thanks, Viz. Just look at the two most important characters in the show, Wanda and Monica. Wanda had to watch Vision die twice right before her eyes, once by her own hand, because of Thanos' quest for the Infinity Stones. And Thanos getting the Infinity Stones stripped Monica of the chance to say goodbye to her mom. They're both wounded and dealing with the grief thrust upon them by a giant purple alien man with a Michael Jackson glove envy. Literally every aspect of the show keeps tying back into these themes I'm talking about, and that's a good thing. Now I know Marvel fans had hoped for either the X-Men or the Fantastic Four to show up in WandaVision, and not for lack of reason. If you know the comics or the upcoming movies, or if you follow the story of Disney's ever-increasing monopoly, the idea of the Fantastic Four popping up on Westview to help out with the situation really isn't the most out there of fan theories. But having the X-Men or the Fantastic Four, or hell, even both, just suddenly showing up out of the blue in WandaVision, wouldn't have made the show better. If anything, it actually would have made it weaker because the narrative and the themes would have been diluted and distracted from.
Long lost bro get to squeeze his stinking sister to death or what?
She recast Pietro?
And there's precedent to back that up. Remember when Hawkeye showed up to do literally nothing in Thor? Like a comical amount of nothing if we're being honest? Or how about Thor taking a dip in Age of Ultron? Yeah, you remember that subplot? Don't lie. Or how tacked on, again in Age of Ultron, Vision felt. Like, yeah, he went on to become a much better and stronger character in future movies, and this show was amazing for Vision. But he wasn't really needed per se in Age of Ultron. Let's be honest, there was a lot going on, they didn't need more. And yeah, sure, I'll say it, WandaVision may have ended up with an awesome scene like Doctor Strange showing up in Thor 3. I love that scene. But we might have also ended up with the Marvel version of the DC trailer scene. Yeah, you know the one, where the movie with bad pacing came to a dead stop to tease a bunch of characters that did not matter. Also, Mr. Doctor had already been established in his own movie. That wasn't the first time we saw him. And that little scene with Thor was kind of a fun way to show how he'd grown and become stronger and adapted to his new job, so it was a bit of like a character moment at the same time. And what he does to help Thor, really, it's kind of minor in the grand scheme of things in that movie, because I'm getting way ahead of myself here. Now, I'm not hating on anyone that put their theory caps on or used the week in between episodes to give themselves unreasonable expectations. Part of the fun of Marvel being a series of interconnected movies and shows is trying to figure out how certain characters will enter into the various stories. And Marvel and Disney have chosen to tell these stories in this way specifically to drive that level of audience and fan engagement. So no one's at fault here. Like, this is what everyone wants, fans and creators alike. This is why this stuff exists. So no, you're not dumb if you thought Magneto was gonna show up swinging his big magnetic dong.
Hey, Pumbaa! Not in front of the kids.
Oh, sorry.
All I want is for fans to stop and think, how would this story of grief, of love, of loss, how would that tale be improved by the grieving woman being suddenly bailed out by characters we've never met before? That's all I'm asking. And you know, if you just don't like the show in general, hey man, that's cool too. There are flaws with it. More than a few. Like what happened to Fake Vision? Did the ending really need a Dragon Ball Z fight? Like really? Some more time developing the sword plot? That would have been pretty nice. Could have gone a long way. Also, this is one show that really would have benefited from more episodes. 9 just didn't feel like enough. I wanted more. I wanted more sitcom episodes. I wanted more about Sword. Maybe one more episode with Agnes revealed as the big bad. Maybe an entire episode dedicated solely to Wanda dealing with being snapped away. Maybe an episode aping The Simpsons. Possibilities were limitless. There was a lot of things they could have done, and you know, it kind of would have been fun. More episodes would have been nice. But what we got is okay too. I liked it a lot. This was weird and a bit of a risk, all things being even, and it worked. For me, I liked it. I really liked this show. I'm so glad WandaVision exists. I'm extremely glad it stayed focused on its story and themes and didn't get too worried about its comic roots. And here's hoping we get more weird gambles like this from Marvel going forward. Come on, guys. You can do it.